Guys, episode 4 of Short Side Wristers. I'm No Sleeves 12. Today we are going to discuss the, in quotes, new HUT content that was released last night, as well as my time at the Leafs gaming event. It was fantastic, and I want to get into all the ins and outs of that. So let's just hop right into it, guys. Something I want to bring up quick, guys. As a content creator, over the last 2 years, I've kind of learned and done my homework as to what makes a good content creator, and something I take pride in is that I almost always will answer every single comment on every single video I do, because if you guys are taking the time to actually respond to my content, it's something that I value insanely. So I do want to mention, though, this podcast thing has gone nuts. It is blowing up way more than I expected, and I'm looking at about 140 comments on the last 3 videos, or I want to try and get more out. There is something on iTunes that I've got coming out, but on the videos alone, and it's just like I don't have a lot of time. So if I don't get your comment, I do apologize, but I'm going to try over the next day or so to try and catch up. So I am seeing them all. It's just something I wanted to bring up. So let's talk the new HUT content. They released the EVO2 sets and a card set into packs, which includes Scheifele and Stamkos, along with Carlson, Kachuk, Braden Point, Patrick Kane, Jonathan Huberdeau, Max Domi, Semyon Varlamov, Morgan Riley, and Zach Werenski, among others. So you guys can get these cards in a pack. Now, as well, they release sets where you can trade in 15 EVO2 collectibles, and you get a choice pack for a bunch of EVO players. So that is kind of cool. I do need to say, though, that it's kind of weak that they're re-releasing or redoing EVOs, because the first EVO collectibles that you have, they aren't going to work for it. So if you look on the market right now, it looks like they are going for about $450K. You need 15 EVO2 collectibles to do the choice pack set. And so it's looking like $450K. Now, these are and I mentioned in my prior one about waiting in events for stuff to go down. These kind of events, they don't really go down because you're not just making one player. You have a chance at it. So, like, the cost of collectibles probably aren't going to go down that much. They might dip a little bit because everyone's going to open packs after HUT Champs and things like that. But with the state of PlayStation specifically, I don't know what's going to happen. So it is cool that we have some new content, but it's on the weaker side. So the Stamkos, the Scheifele, the Carlson are the ones that kind of headlined the EVO 2 list. Obviously, they're going to be great cards to have because they're pretty much guaranteed 99s, along with Braden Point, Kachuk. Like, they're all having really good seasons. So any of these cards, I could see at least getting Team of the Year, especially Morgan Riley. If you can get Morgan Riley, he's an 85 right now, but you're investing. We're close enough out at the beginning of the season when they first released EVOs, after I had seen how it works, and with the +2 system every month where it can only cap at going up +2. I told everyone to just sell all your EVOs outside of Taylor Hall, McKinnon, and Pasternak, basically, because it just they aren't going to be usable while you have them. Like, for example, Subban got hurt and he's still extremely low card. These ones, however, they're starting kind of at where they're what their card is listed at. So a 90 Carlson you could already throw in your lineup, and you're going to have him when he gets his 99. So these cards are a lot more valuable. Now, the Morgan Riley is an interesting one because it's an 85. He's got 93 speed, though, so that's obviously very usable. But he's one of the lower ones that's for sure going to get a 99, and worth hanging on to, especially if you can get him for, man, it's going to be expensive getting any of these EVOs, but because it is a choice pack and not just random pulls, there might be more, because obviously if Morgan Riley comes up at any of them outside of Carlson, Stamkos, Scheifele, Braden Point, and Kane, Morgan Riley is probably going to be the most valuable one. So that is what I would recommend, to just grab him. As far as the packs go, it looks like they released a 2,000 point one, sorry. Just to do the math on that, 2,000 points costs about $27 Canadian for the one pack, and that gets a chance at 2, but up to 2, so you could actually get 2 collectibles there. and then it goes down. So the 1,000 point one has an increased chance of an evolution collectible, not guaranteed, and then the 500 point one has a chance as well. And obviously the probability is less and less. So it is something new. I'm glad that there is an actual event, because again, it's just any content is good content right now. No new comp seasons, I don't believe. Let's take a look real quick. Sorry, I'm just doing this on the fly, guys, because last night was extremely busy. If you look in the upcoming events, nope, just the 94 Victor Hedman. I'm going to get into all that with my Hut News video that comes out later on tonight. New prime time, so the 92 Brent Burns, I said this on Twitter the other night, 92 Brent Burns, he's creeping up there. So his Evo is now obviously worth just a ton. He's still kind of slow. I don't know if I would buy him. I mean, if you can get his Evo now, he's going to be a 99. So he's definitely usable now, because his shot's an 89. And then Johnny Gaudreau, any Johnny Gaudreau card now is now worth it. He has endgame speed and a good shot, and it's just going to get better. I would definitely grab Johnny Gaudreau. My boy Joe Pavelski got a prime time. He is an 89 now with 94 speed and an 87 shot. Rip Pedersen, unfortunately, if you haven't seen the tie-up he had with Kotkaniemi, he looks like he suffered Joe Thornton's injury. It looks almost exactly the same. I haven't seen the news on it yet, but that could be MCL, ACL, and that might be his season. That looked gross. So yeah, let's get into the Leafs event, and it was a great day. So for anyone that didn't know, yesterday was the grand finals for the Leafs Esports event, a culmination of about 2 or 3 months of esports gameplay, and it came down to Danny Padre and Yung Gren in the finals for $7,500, I believe. The first got $5,000, and second got $25,000, I believe. And it was an amazing day. So I guess I could just, I'm going to try and shout out as many guys as I can. It was awesome meeting a ton of people from the community. So I got to go Carter, or I'm going to try and not use real names because now it's just confusing, but Triple D Chell, I believe is his tag. He's a follower of mine on Twitch, and I reached out to him, and he actually brought me. He had qualified in the Division 3 bracket, and he got a guest and an invite. So he was the one that brought me. Shout out to him. He was an awesome kid, and I'm happy to meet him, and is super stoked that he brought me. So I got there around noon. The game was at 2 p.m., which is super early. I met up with Carter, and then I met up with Johnny, or the Owe, and Boosh, and then we waited for Rahanic and the boys. We met up with pretty much everyone and went down, had some lunch, and then went on an adventure to find where we actually got into the Leafs game. There was a different door we had to go into, so that was a disaster. But we got into one of the gondola boxes. We had one of the suites. I have to say this, so just like the event in October at Real Sports, the production value was great. We had free buffet. When we got there, Mivian's was already plate full, having a drink, which was, he was a great guy to meet. But anyway, so we get there. It's a little small for the amount of people that they had there. So a ton of people got guest invites, and I would say there was like 50 people. And then, obviously, when you have just the seats, and then they had a big screen as well as where Yung Gren and Padre had to play. They had a big setup. Then they had 2 announcers behind them. They did a great job. And then, obviously, a camera crew covering the event. So they played their games during the intermission. I'm going to get into their games in just a second, but it was definitely a great experience. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't the best view of the game. We're right up top, like 600 level. We're high. And it just like the staggered seating in the box itself was kind of not the best, but it was still. I love seeing a game from up top, like 300 level. I love that stuff because you can see everything. And Marner scored like 7 seconds in, which was just nuts. So that was cool. The games themselves. So obviously everyone knows Gren. If you don't know Padre, he is an older guy in the community. He's my age. And I've met him now twice. He's older. He's almost 30, I believe. And he's one, like, here's the thing. So a lot of people forget that I'm so new to the community. Like, this is legit, like, my 2-year anniversary of making content. I wasn't even really known at all in the community until, like, NHL 18, I would say. And there is probably no, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here. It's not hated. Maybe it's hated, but I don't think it's hated. Anyways, a different word for hated in the online community than Gren and Padre. And if you were to, I understand internet stuff and stuff that was said in the past. I've been briefly informed on it, and I don't want to rehash any of that crap because it happened in the past. It didn't happen to me. and I don't agree with some of the stuff I saw, but like there is they're two of the nicest people I've met in real life. Like how they are online and how they present themselves online, maybe that's a little bit different, but how they are in person, they're both great people. And it's hilarious to see Gren, who's like 17, and Padre, who's like 28. It's funny to when you're watching the games, it's just like, man, this is crazy. So I gotta say this. They played two of the sweatiest games, and first of all, Gren had his headphones in. Padre didn't have his headphones in. And you've got 50 people over your shoulder, as well as what's going on inside the arena during the intermission. I don't know how he did it with no headphones, but props to you, man. So as far as the games go, Padre lost game 1 and game 2, obviously, so Gren did win. But in game 1, Padre actually had a 4-2 lead, and like the biggest game in probably the entire, or biggest goal in the entire series is Gren scores to make it 4-3. Because if Padre makes it 5-2, that's pretty much it for game 1, and then the whole thing changes. So Gren did come back, and they won in overtime. And then game 2, again, these are happening in intermission. That's the one problem I'll say about the production of it, is that there's only 20-minute intermissions, and I don't think they realize that two of the sweatiest, like, great players probably is a good chance to go to overtime. So they were playing into the next period of the game, where you have 50 or 60 people all just watching the big screen and watching this event go on while there's an actual hockey game going. That was hilarious to me. And so in game 2, Padre tied it up with like 17 seconds to go, and I was just recording because I didn't know if the thing was going to end or not. And if you haven't seen it on Twitter, we just all go nuts. And that was what was the cool thing I want to mention, is that this was esports and what potentially NHL esports could be. Whether you wanted Padre to win or Gren to win, again, there was a lot of guys in the community there that know both. So obviously some people wanted other guys to win. At the end of it, most of us were just like, they wanted to see a game 3, and every goal, there was no crap animation goals. All of them were legit, and there was no rap glitch goals or anything like that. It was just what it could be. It was super exciting to watch, and I'm super stoked to see how it goes in the future, because like I'll say this, so like when I mentioned about the tuner and when things go back to the beta and stuff like that, the way that the game is right now definitely parlays to the elite more than anyone else, just by the fact that the AI doesn't really attack the puck carrier. You can't rely on that. You need to know your positioning, things like that. This is where you notice it the most, at the highest level, and it was honestly just two great games. So shout out to Padre for catching or tying it up, having the clutchness to save and potentially push it to a game 3 by making it go to OT with, I think it was 17 seconds left. It was nuts. And yeah, so anyways, Gren did win, and then they did a bunch of photos for him and gave him the big check, and then everyone just kind of hung out there in the box. Then Darcy Tucker and Shane Corson come out. I didn't realize that was happening, but they played a little 3-on-3 arcade with Gren and Padre afterwards. But I got a picture taken with Darcy Tucker and Shane Corson. They were extremely nice guys, so it was just a really cool day. Meanwhile, if you don't know who Rahanic is, I just met him yesterday. I've known him online. Obviously, he lives in my area, and he was just in one, which it was hilarious to see. By the end of the game, the dude is just loaded. Anyways, so he actually knows JT Brown from the Wild, from gaming and whatnot. JT Brown's big into gaming, and he actually brought us down to where the Wild had everyone kind of chilling and had their friends and family chilling. So we got to meet JT Brown. If we hadn't already met him, got a picture taken, a great picture with the boys and JT Brown. It's so weird. Like, you walk past some of the rows of aisles, and you see like Eric Stahl and Charlie Coyle just chilling. Like, I was just like, this is awesome. And so that was really cool. Then I got to go out with all the boys afterwards, like TDI, Johnny the Owe, K-Cut, who I just met. Honestly, he's a great guy. I played LG with him, but I'd never met him. He's an awesome guy. He was like Rahanic's big brother, basically, by the end of the night, because Rahanic had to be reeled in. Bones was there. Bones is such a good guy to chill with, honest to God. I met Hendry and Fisher they're from the Sixes community. Again, just awesome dudes. Gilly, I don't know if you guys don't know who Gilly is. I knew him from LG. It's where I found him or met him or seen him first. And then he is going to be the most famous out of anyone mentioned here, just because he is so good at Fortnite. And he, like, if you were to drop in your mind, what does an innocent little brother look like? That's Gilly. And there's just no way not to like him. And he's one of the best at Fortnite. So he is going to blow up. If you're into Fortnite, please go follow him on Twitter and watch his Twitch streams. He's nuts at the game. I don't want to miss anyone. So yeah, we all went out for the bar near the arena, and I've never seen a table get cut off faster than ours. So let me give you some perspective. We get there 15 minutes in, the waitress comes over and says, "Yeah, our manager said to cut off your table." 15 minutes in. Here's what happened. Rahanic gets about 13 shots for everyone. Great. And then Foster, I had never met Foster. I forgot he was there. He bought 2 giant pitchers, so everyone just was, having a good time. Then for whatever reason, Gronk smashes his shot at Tequila for some reason. Falls out of his hand. That might have had something to do with getting cut off, but that was an adventure. And then Rahanic comes back with another 13 shots. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a great night for the boys. So unfortunately, I couldn't go out afterwards. I had to dip out because I had to work today, and I live about an hour and a half away. So I'm sad that I couldn't stay for the whole night. But it was a great day. If you guys ever do get to qualify and you get to go and meet all the kind of bigger guys in the community, it's awesome. And it's so weird because like you see their online persona, and it's just like, it's nothing what almost every single guy's like. Gren could not be more opposite in real life than on his how he is when he's playing. He's very serious when he's playing. Obviously, he's one of the best, and same with Padre. Like they're just in real life, like they're great guys, and so it was super cool to watch, to get to see the event and how it played out. And now I'm even more excited for the Capitals, Lightning, and Jets. Just because those are going to be great, and it's for a ton of money too, right? Like, so if you're good at the game, you want to try and get to one of these. And I'm gonna have here's spoiler alert. I'm gonna have Gren on for Monday's podcast. I believe I'm gonna do an interview with him, and I want to get some info as far as that. I think that the community would want, as far as like, what is the amount of time actually spent to require to be that good? Obviously, he has great instincts, and he's just good reactions and whatnot to the game, thumb skill, if you will. But there's time involved, and it's just the amount of work that he puts in is crazy. So again, yeah, it was just an awesome time. So guys, that does it for today's podcast / video, I guess. Like I said earlier, I think I found a way to actually upload it to iTunes, so you'll be able to actually have it in the podcast app. Because right now I'm just kind of doing it on YouTube just because it's the easiest way to get it out. But I'm going to have all the episodes and whatnot on iTunes shortly. So guys, thank you for listening and all of the comments. I'm seeing them all. Please just keep commenting and give me some stuff that you want to see or want to hear me talk about. It's great. I'm having a blast with this, and I'm just going to keep it coming. So, again, guys, thank you for watching / listening. I'm No Sleeves 12.